Hello, hello, my beautiful sisters and my handsome brothers. It is your girl, Dr. Shonna Etienne. I want to talk to you guys about what we can do and need to start doing to protect our children. I want to give you guys some information on a case. Well, two different cases. One, the girl name is Kashala Francis, age 13. She ended up dying after she went into a coma as a result of being jumped in school. And now this child is deceased. And there's another child, Renaya Wright, who was 10 years old. She died March 27th of this year after engaging in a fight. So I want to talk about this because these are some things that have been happening in our community. It continues to happen in our community. And it's not me saying it doesn't happen in other communities, but as many of you guys know, I couldn't care less about any other community. I am speaking about our community and why this is an issue and why we need to get it together. So that's the first things first. So I want to say to the parents, your child comes home, male or female, and they got bruises or scratches, you need to be gathering up what you need to be gathering and going to the neighborhood. Because let me tell you something about bullies. Bullies do not stop. Bullies do not stop unless you beat one of their behinds. Bullies do not stop. There's not going to be anything a school can do about a bully. Yeah, they have these laws now. Like in my town, it's called HIB. Harassment, intimidation, and bullying. And they do these investigations. These things happen in my town. But it's not going to stop these kids. If there's a bully, it's not going to stop them from bullying your kids. So I'm seeing this thing, and trust me, I'm going to touch on the other stuff. I'm seeing this stuff from so many different angles. So after she sees bruises on her daughter, the daughter goes to one of her relatives' house and she sleeps over there. On Saturday, the daughter's delusional. Now, if the child starts seeing delusional, the first thing we want to do is get our child to the hospital because we know there was a fight. We know this. If this mother know that, I don't know if she knew that. But if she knew that, we're going to the hospital. On Sunday, Kashala complains of having a headache. And her mother comes over. And this is so sad. I'm going to take my time here because y'all know I'm a baby. I cry and stuff. But the mother comes over and she tells her daughter, get up, get up, get up. And she's complaining about her head. And then the girl loses consciousness. The mother calls 911. They get to the doctor. They scan her head. They find a tumor. See, I don't trust doctors. Listen, I'm going to tell you why. They find a tumor. The girl slips into a coma. And then she dies afterwards. I don't know if it was a day or two afterwards, but she dies. She gets into a fight. She gets jumped by two teenagers. The fight is recorded. The children watched. No one done anything. She comes home. Mom notices bruises on her. She says nothing happened. She goes over to one of her relatives' house, one of her family members' house. She sleeps over. The next day on Saturday, she's acting delusional, acting a little bit crazy out of it. She goes to sleep. The next day on Sunday, she wakes up. She got a headache. Mom comes over, tells her to get up. She loses consciousness. They call 911. The doctors find a tumor. She slips into the coma. Eventually, she dies. So, to some people, this might look clear cut. It's unfortunate. She had a tumor, had water on the brain. She died. This is what happens. It's unfortunate, but we can't really say it's too soon to say if it was a fight, if it was a tumor. I get it. But I also understand that everyone is covering their asses, right? I also understand that the school don't want to accept any responsibility. The school is going to deny that any incidents of bullying happened to their knowledge. The school is going to deny that Kashala complained about any bullying. The school is going to deny that her mama mentioned anything about bullying. The school is going to deny any involvement or any knowledge of bullying happening in the school. The school is going to deny that automatically. So before we move on to Renaya, let me say this about Kashala. First of all, sleep in peace, my sister. Gone way too young. 13 years old is too young to be dying because you got in a fight in school. But this has to be a wake-up call for our community. But in this day, we need to take it ever so seriously, even more so than what we have done previously. Because let me tell you something about these bullies. See, these young girls and boys, I don't know what's up with people's home training. Children, for the most part, are only going to do what you allow them to do. When there are no consequences for their behaviors and their actions, when there is no proper child rearing, these kind of things will occur. And ain't nobody going to care about our kids. I say it all the time. You can go into the school and you can complain about your child being bullied, but you better know the school policy as it relates to bullying. You better write emails. You better CC the superintendent, the principal, the vice principal, the social worker, the guidance counselor, Jesus Christ himself. You better CC everybody on that email, because you don't know the outcome of the bullying act. You don't know what's going to happen. See, you can't come into the school way after the fact, and now your child is deceased. I'm talking about us here. I'm not talking about our beloved sister Kashala. I'm talking about us, because I don't know what Kashala's mother has done. I'm talking about us. You cannot come into the school after a fact and then want to take legal action. See, you got to be able to prove that this stuff has been happening. That means something, parents. That means we have to be in communication with our children. But let me tell you something. If we got things within us that need to be addressed, we need to be serious about it. We cannot come on here talking about black love, black power. We need to get it together. We need to take back this. We got to fight white supremacy. We got to fight racism. We got to fight discrimination. We got to fight. You got kids at home freaking fighting. You got kids at home jumping people. You got kids at home stomping people out. You got kids at home thinking they're grown. You got kids at home carrying guns. So you can't tell me we are perfect. But yet when we look at these incidents, it is happening widely among our people. Then we want to go to law enforcement and we want them to do something about it. But law enforcement is going to look at all of us like animals. Didn't I go over the police? Didn't I do a 4-part series on the police and how they view us? And not for my opinion, didn't I go over an in-depth research study from Harvard University? Didn't I go over this with this community? But we're going to run to the police. We're going to run to the police and we're going to want to file charges and get the girls arrested. But let me tell you something. You think they're going to take that seriously when it comes to our children? Let me bring your attention for the next 10 minutes and I'm out of here. Bring your attention to another case. This lady, this young girl, 10 years old, a child, 10 years old, Renaya Wright. Look her up. May she sleep in peace. Renaya Wright, 10 years old. She died March 27th of this year. March 27th. See, they don't talk about, why do you think they don't talk about this stuff when it comes to our kids? Why do you think They're not covering this stuff when it comes to our children. Ain't nobody gonna care about our kids but us.